oh man, he did it. I don't know how, but he did it. Wow. And to think, a man like me, see myself and Ananias and a few friends, we used to camp out in between the towns of Jericho, Jerusalem, and we would wait in hiding for unsuspecting travelers to come by. Not big groups or caravans, but small, or those foolish enough to travel alone. And we would jump out in surprise. We would threaten them for what they had. If that didn't work, we'd shake a staff. That usually got most of them, but a few fought. We beat them senseless and take what we wanted. Not long after those events, I was at a party in Jesus' honor. It was at a wealthy tax collector's house, Zacchaeus. And I met Jesus. We shook hands. But then he looked at me, and it was those eyes. It's like he was looking into my soul. It's like he knew all of the things, all of the thieving, the lying, maybe even murdering. And then he just looked at me and smiled, this biggest smile, and he says, you know, there's forgiveness even for a man like you in my kingdom. I kind of mumbled something about, hey, thanks, that's great, maybe next time, and left him standing there, ashamed. But the next day, I got in with the crowds and I followed Jesus around, and he talked about cornerstones and vineyards and paying taxes. I was confused. And then he mentioned something about Pharisees and how they could be arrogant and not caring for those in the most need. I had taken from those in the most need. I really wish I would have accepted his offer of forgiveness. Not a few days later, Ananias and I made our last bad choice, and we got caught by the Romans. This time, the punishment would be death by crucifixion. So as we're getting nailed to the cross, excruciating pain, we see a third, not even recognizable, beaten, bloodied, can barely stand up. They nail this man to the cross, and it's different. There are people taunting, jeering, mocking, huge crowds. And then these people in fancy robes, Pharisees, they came up and they would say things like, he saved others, let him save himself if he can. God's Messiah, the chosen one. It was shocking. That was Jesus. I didn't even recognize him. And then all of a sudden, Ananias, he pipes in too, mocking, jeering. I say, be quiet. That's Jesus. He doesn't deserve any of this. But you and I, we made our choice. So then I call out, I say, Jesus. And he looks over, and it's those eyes again. It's those eyes. It's like they're looking right into my soul again. And I said, Jesus, will you remember me when you come into your kingdom? And he looked at me, only the way a Savior can, and he says, truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. And here I stand, and I don't know how he did it. I don't deserve it. There's no way I deserve this. I'm not worthy. The only explanation is that Jesus, by giving his life, allowed me to have my life here in paradise.